Hello. I was looking at your comments on my phone. How's everybody doing tonight? I see you've got some folks not feeling good. So let me address that real quick here. Hey, Lisa Colovi. Hello, Huga Homestead. Holman's Homestead. Spartman. Let's see here. Oh, I won't be on long tonight. I hurt my back putting on my boots this morning. Oh, man, that is the worst. Been there, done that. Sorry. Feel better. Go get some rest. Don't worry about us. Go get some rest. Oh, I hope you feel better. Oh, Red's in the house. Let's get this party started. Spartman is going to see Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure tomorrow night in Sioux Falls. Nice. That's cool. Hey, Gwen, Broke Cowgirl. Hope you're doing well. Got up feeling fine, ate breakfast, put boots on to go feed, and couldn't get up. Oh my gosh, I hate that. That's the worst. It just makes for a miserable day too, especially when you woke up feeling fine. Oh, one thing I will say is I know there's a lot of controversy about hot and cold, when to use it and all that stuff. I will say this. For me, a heating pad helps a lot. Hey there, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms, Vay's Place. Hello. Excellent. Gwen is declaring tomorrow nap day. Nice. I think, did I do that yesterday or the day before? I took one and I was like, oh my gosh, I won't sleep at night. Hey, Tina, Life in the Piedmont. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Rich at the Old Swedes Farm. Hope you and Holly are doing well. So, guys, just before I forget, I want to get this out. You can see I've got a banner or a ticker running on the screen, and I've got it pinned in the chat. Rich and Holly are putting out a video tomorrow on a seed swap. So tune into their channel tomorrow to watch that so you can get in on the seed swap, which will be really cool. So make sure you do that, okay? But tonight, what I wanted to talk about is, I wanted one today, it didn't happen. I totally get it. So what I wanted to talk about tonight is, let's talk about, how did your year go? How did 2023 go for you? And for Holman's Homestead, it's kind of hard, right? Because right now you're dealing with back pain and that's all you could think about. But we've had some ups and downs and all around kind of things. Vay's Place said, I harvested 16 quail, have to do 16 more tomorrow. That way I can get the cages built for my grow out rabbits. Congratulations. Hey, Tony and Angie, totally understand. Enjoy the time with your family. Happy New Year. Don't you worry about a thing. Good to see you, friend. Enjoy your family time. That's more important. Absolutely. But yeah, so, just take a minute to think about all the things that you've done in 2023, and you're not going to remember them all if you're like me anyway. But I know for us, we grew a very large amount of tomatoes. We had 2 litters of piglets, which was extremely challenging to sell them. And we did it. We dealt with Waylon being ill. We, in addition to the normal stuff and everything, we did a lot of different things, a lot of canning, a lot of freeze drying, a lot more than we normally do. So that's very exciting. And then now I'm looking forward to 2024. Do I have big goals for 2024? Oh, and Ryan reminded me, he harvested a deer. So that was a big one for him. He harvested the unicorn buck that we all laughed about, but he did a great job on the skull, and we've got all that meat in the freezer. We made sausage, all that kind of stuff, which was really cool. So let's see here. Tina says there have been challenges, but very thankful and blessed. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Heather says, I have loads of reorganizing to get done before spring. Rich of the Old Swedes, we worked a lot in the spring and early summer, and the hailstorm took it all out. Frustrating to work so hard and have it almost gone in 20 minutes. Took the wind out of us. Absolutely. We had that in 2020. We had so much hail, they were plowing and all the plants were killed. So yeah, it's frustrating because I know you have a little bit of a longer window than us, but we have that short window, and it was just as the plants were getting going in June and everything got destroyed. Ryan said we made it through without any health issues, except for my COVID complications. And yes, I just said that. So, because that was a big deal. And I want to circle back to that in just a minute, but I want to say, hey, good morning, Annette, our urban homestead. Me and Dan went and filmed Jason harvest a beef. Wasn't able to help with my back, and Dan has pulled an abdominal muscle. Oh, no. I hope he's feeling better. Jeez Louise. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome, Rich. You still be covered for $50 February. Awesome. Spartman said, snowy start to the year, blew up the car in March, had a battle trying to find a belt for my mower, denied cute piglets, got a junk snowblower running. Yeah, I think we're all falling apart as we get older. It's crazy. I got to circle back to this. You guys have all heard of deep vein thrombosis and pulmonary embolism, right? So the DVT is the deep vein, and that's when you get a blood clot behind your knee, typically, or in your leg. And then you get a pulmonary embolism, which is where it breaks off and it goes into your lungs, right? So everybody knows what that is? All right. I happened to get some weird picture in my Instagram feed because that's what I had from my complications when I was in the hospital. And they had a picture of what it looked like. I thought it was just a little round clot. I got to show you this picture. I was blown away. Let me just get it real quick. It's not really gross. It just shows it looking dried up. It's not like you're seeing tons of blood. I'll warn you beforehand, though, I promise. I got to show you that because I was just fascinated by it. Give me one sec here. I didn't realize it could be this big. All right. So if you get grossed out, you don't want to look. Don't look now. Okay. That's what one looks like. So basically, it forms in all your little lungs. Is that insane? Okay, now you can look. Is that insane? I didn't know they look like that. I thought it was just you got a clot in your lung, and I didn't realize. Yeah, I know. Let me try it again. Sorry about that. That's how I hide my mess behind me because we've been doing clouds. All right, I'm going to show it again, guys, and I'll explain what it is. But if you don't want to look, don't look now. Can you see it now? Isn't that crazy? Am I the only one who didn't realize they look like that? I'm just curious if I'm the only one. It does. But you see how problematic they are now. Like, I totally get it now. More so. Yeah, I know. I was crazy. I almost feel like I didn't garden in 2023. It was so short-lived before it got hot. But you got all those tomatoes, Gwen. You had crazy hot weather. Hey, Don Ray B, welcome. Oh, Heather, you get it. You had one of them. Ooh. Hey, Mountain Grandma. Hey, Sarah, Homesteading Hustle. I was talking about when I got sick from complications related to the big illness going around. And I didn't realize that that's what a pulmonary embolism looked like because I had a deep vein that broke off and turned into a pulmonary embolism. Very painful. Very, Very painful. I agree, Tina. I've never seen anything like that. Looks like a chicken foot. I had no clue. Howdy, y'all. Hey, Diane Shell, Hollow Farmstead. Yeah, okay, good. Dawn, we're talking about, you probably know by now, but I'm catching up to your comment. That's what a pulmonary embolism looks like. So Spartman, I'm assuming that, I'm not a doctor. I'm assuming that when it breaks off from your leg, as it's traveling through your body, the pieces are going in different places and plugging up different places, and maybe it builds on that. I will ask my doctor when I go, though, because I'm still on medications. It's totally scary. Yeah, Sarah, Ryan was like totally freaked out and didn't want me doing anything. It was really terrifying. Oh, no worries, Shale Hollow. No worries. It's really late by you too. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't mean to digress into that, but I found it fascinating because I've never seen that before. So I thought it was really cool. But it goes to show you your phones are listening to you. It's very scary. So what are the things that you are really excited that you got done in 2023? I am Mountain Grandma. Thank you. I am still on the blood thinners, but all the other tests came back good. And I finally can breathe again, which is good. It took a long time to get back up there, but much better. My grandma had gotten a broken wrist one winter, and it tossed the clot that went into her lung and ended up killing her. Oh, Spart, man, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's just so scary. So scary. Hey, Xander, Dark Lord Binette, welcome. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy. But I really want to know, like, what are the things that you're really excited you did this year? And let me know in the comments. Packing, and we're moving to Arkansas. Not done yet. That's exciting. Hope you're doing well, Drops. River Rat said, I got a better handle on my garden and got more chickens. Yes, you did. Hey, Ariella, welcome. That's awesome. I was excited about the sausage, all the stuff that we canned, all the stuff that we froze, all that stuff. Gwen is, I'm excited for gardening, goat babies, barn expansion. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm working on a few things. I had planned on doing it last year, but when I got sick, things got derailed. I didn't really get, Dawn said I didn't really get anything done. I bought a bow and I'm learning to hunt. I've been building skills with harvesting. The chat jumped, sorry. With harvesting my own firewood. That's accomplishing stuff, and you're working. Stop. You got a bow and you've been sitting out there. That takes a lot to do that. So kudos to you. Drop sold all the 50 chickens. Bigger place next year. Spartman, more birds, even if I'm already complaining it costs too much to feed them. No kidding. Oh, thank you, Tina. Right back at you. Oh, that's exciting. You went to HOA. That's cool. Rich said the storm forced us to focus on downsizing to a manageable garden and chicken flock. Yep. You got to do what you got to do. We rehome the turkeys in Sherman, and he's doing magnificent, by the way. I got a picture of him the other day, and he had a cat on his back. He had a dog laying next to him by the fence. He had chickens walking around. He's living the life. I miss that boy, but he's living the life. And it was the smartest thing we could do. It really was. And we'll probably be downsizing chickens. I don't want to get into why, but we'll probably be downsizing chickens. because at the end of the summer, we would have had like 45. We've lost some. I know we're under 40 now. Oh, I'm glad to have you here, Dawn. I'm so thrilled you're here. Mountain Grandma said meat birds for the first time was fun, and I'm so happy I got the sourdough done. And making cold processed soap for the first time. Fun stuff. Yes, it is. Nice. Sent out another seed order today. That made me happy. Awesome. Yeah, I think we all need that. Extra hours in a day, Heather. Trying to figure out new fencing to get some goats. That'll be fun. Yeah, and that's the other thing. We've got the grant, so we are already looking for supplies, trying to figure out ways that we can do our fencing. Kind of bummed because we've been looking at putting in cement by the T-posts, and we just can't get enough depth. So, excuse me. So we're trying to look into that, but the grant was very exciting, and we've received the funding for that. So that's exciting. Hey, Sarah Rising Swine. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations, Ariella. That's huge. It does kick your butt when you first stop. I just want to get to the bottom. It does make me happy. I'm thrilled. Let's see here. I just want to go. Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't drive 50 chickens from Washington State to Arkansas. Congrats, Xander. You got more chickens coming. Exciting. I'm just going to go through the chat real quick. My last batch of meat birds came with a bonus chicken, and it's a rooster. That's awesome. That's awesome. So 2023 had its ups and downs, and relatively unscathed for us, despite the hospitalization and some other events that I haven't talked about, which I'll get into at a later time. But just working on all that stuff. And so last year, one of the things that I was working on was trying to get a website up and running and selling some of my handmade products and, my crochet and all that, and tossing things around. And then I got sick, and it was summertime, and then that really screwed up everything. So hopefully this year, because I'm really amping up trying to get things done this winter so I can build up an inventory to have, so it's less pressure and I can keep an eye on the inventory. So between soap and crocheted stuff like that. Let's see here. 75 hens, 78 chickens. Yeesh. So that'll be exciting. I'm just trying to do that. I just added a Centro knitting machine to my repertoire because my knitting is awful. It's just so slow. And so I've got all that. Yeah, I've thought about Etsy, but they charge you. So I don't know that I want to go that route. I haven't figured out. I think I may just do our own website and do a shop drop on Instagram. I need a tutorial on how to keep my lines even on blankets. Is that for crocheting, Sarah, or knitting? Because I'd be happy to help you with crocheting. I cannot help you with knitting. I'm sure Etsy is pretty friendly. It's just that it costs you money to list things. So I'm just trying to, the biggest thing is I'm trying to reduce costs, right? So today, I'm looking at yarn in my local yarn store. And the hanks of yarn, because they sell hanks, not skeins, of beautiful wool yarn. They're anywhere from $17 to $27 a hank. Quality yarn. But once you add in all the supplies and the $17 to $27, and I may need 3 or 4 of those to make a project, That's a lot of money. So I did go with some acrylic blends, but more I'm trying to do some different things and provide different options. And on Instagram and my stories, I've had votes for people to do stuff. Thank you, Red. I appreciate that. He said the hats look great. Can't wait to get one. Thank you. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah, that would be fun, Rich. That would be fun. I tried Etsy for my crocheted stuff a while ago and had no luck. Yeah, and you might do better now because people know who you are. That's the thing. Etsy is, I haven't heard good things. I'm going to be honest with you. I've not heard good things. Some people use them and swear by them. Other people are not thrilled about them. So I'm looking into alternatives. But I think I'm going to do a website for ourselves. So that right now I'm working on building inventory and doing all that. So one of the things you guys talked about a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about things that ideas to make. And I wanted to show you the item, and don't forgive my note over it. Excuse me. That's one of the items that I want to make, which I thought was pretty cool, especially since we're in cold weather. So that would be good. I thought about crochet rag rugs. I don't have the stuff. I've got to get all the stuff. That's the thing. I know there's some metal pieces people use, but I'm thinking website. Yeah, and that's what I plan to do, Dawn, is join in on. We don't have a lot of craft fairs here. Many are in Rapid City, and I don't really want to go that far. But we'll see. I don't know. I may go into Wyoming and see where they are. Thank you. It won't keep me very warm. Don't you need sleeves? Yes, you do, except this year, thankfully. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I just have to. I don't have a lot of old stuff here to tear up, so I'd have to go to a thrift store, and there's not a lot. Yes, I'm going to do the farmer's market too, because basically our farmer's market is now like a craft market with 2 vendors for food. So that's why I'm going to get the egg license and do that. But I thought it would be really cool to do that. Give me something to do, something exciting. Thanks, Sarah. Oh, that's cool, Gwen. Yeah, I just don't have anything. That's awesome. I've been to the Goodwill here, and I think they get scoured over every day by people who live there. So I don't know. I'm just not good at it. But when I was in North Carolina, you could find all that stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, so looking in different things. I did some voting on Instagram and my stories because I got hats. I'm not a fan of pom-poms on hats. Let me tell you, the majority of the people who voted want the pom-poms on the hat, which I was surprised about because I am just not a fan. I have one pom-pom hat, and that is I got from Halbert Farm, and I love it, but that's it. Hey, Suburban Hillbilly. I hope you're doing well. Hope you made it through the week okay. Trying to think what else. Yeah, that's all we have though is Goodwill. Not many. We have a couple in Rapid that are independent, but they usually have the same thing every time I go there. I swear it's like they don't. I think it's because of the large homeless population. And so a lot of them give out free items to people. Doing well. Thank you, Suburban Hillbilly. Happy New Year. Thanks for coming, Tina. So yeah, so we're doing all that stuff, but that's one of the goals that I have for this year. We'll see how it goes. And if it flops, it flops, but I'm going to give it a try. Have a great weekend, Holman's Homestead. Please feel better, you guys. Be careful and feel better. Get some rest. Yeah, same here. It's crazy. Hey, Bert Window, welcome in. Yeah, I totally feel what you're saying, Heather, milk and honey. Absolutely. So yeah, lots of different things that we're working on for next year. And I think we'll definitely be scaling back our chickens for a bit and, sticking more to the model of scaling down in the wintertime and having more in the summer. So that would be good. Yeah, exactly, Rich. You got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. I mean, the reality of it is so many people crochet and knit, and that stuff is out there, and some of it sells and some of it doesn't. So, yeah. And ironically, Drops, we went to Fleet Farm today to get our feed because that's the cheapest place that we can get it, and they had none left. So I was really miffed because I needed 4 bags. So it was a bit much. Hey, Blue, welcome in. Lovely. Blue has a birthday coming up in January, if I remember correctly. Haven't decided, Gwen. Still undecided about breeding the pigs this year. We really want to be able to start a new round of meat pigs, but kind of hesitant given the market last year, and it's still that way. And if we end up with 15 again, that's a lot of piglets. Ooh, 3 days. 3 days. That's exciting, Blue. Holly made 4 beautiful crocheted blankets, and she's trying to find the right venue to sell them. Several spots to produce no hips. If you have any stores that have local artists in them, they charge a percentage, but those are a cool thing too. And I have a couple of those around that I also want to bring my stuff to. So that's really cool. The other thing, Rich, is I know a lot of people just post it on their Instagram or on their stories or on their posts, and they say, I've got 2 of these. This is available. And that's all they say. And they're like, DM me if you're interested. So, and that's how I'm going to start with some things too. Absolutely. Oh, I wanted to go back to Heather's comment. I want to do a live, but want to think of something meaningful first, like a topic or a live crocheting. Hey, Tina Ladybug. Absolutely. Yeah, just the key is keep it very, very vague. Like, use words like available, DM me for details, that kind of thing. Thanks, Lisa Clovey, for the reminder. That sort of thing. And I do that. That's how I get around things. And I post the piglets on Instagram stories, and then I post them in my feed, and I don't necessarily say that I'm selling them. I say they're looking for new homes. But I'm very careful to get around the guidelines. Discuss, yeah. DM to discuss. Huh. So can you guys give Heather at Milk and Honey Heritage Farms an idea for a topic, but like something continual for her lives? Bacon on the hoof doesn't work. It works, but they see the Cooney piglets and they don't even think bacon. They just think, oh, how cute they are. So yeah, if you have any ideas for Heather, put that in there. And again, don't forget about the Old Swedes Farm. They're posting a video tomorrow for a seed swap, so make sure you go check them out. I pinned it in the chat also, so you can see their channel. Tammy said homesteading is always a good topic. Yep. And bacon seeds. Yep. Hello, Gardening with Coffee. Welcome. That's funny. Kuni like better than IPP? Do you mean, do I like Kuni better than IPP? Or you like Kuni better? I have not eaten Kuni yet because I kept Norman last year. So next year will be our first ones, but I've never had IPP. I will say this though, the pork that we got from Maud Hog and Cattle, oh my gosh, to die for. To die for. That's a good idea, Rich. Yeah, we just come up with, oh, he likes Kuni better than Idaho pasture. Nice. Thanks, Drops. Yeah, I think the biggest thing, Heather, is like I pick a topic and, you know, we do us, right? Because my channel is, if you want to watch me, come watch me. You don't want to watch me, don't watch me. That's where I'm at. We do stuff, we fail, we pick ourselves up, all of that kind of thing. And, you know, last week, because of my background, and it was very meaningful to me, we talked about Christmas. And it's joyous for some and not for others. And that's, you know, the way it goes. Oh, sorry, I don't know. Was Nightbot talking to you? 2023, you got distracted. You have dreams to accomplish, not people to impress. Have a great 24. Thanks, Jeff and Tammy. You too. I wouldn't mind having a couple piggies at home, but between wife and townspeople, the answer is no. Oh, that stinks. Yeah, my pigs won't make it to 400 pounds. They won't be here that long. One of them is still intact and will have to be butchered early because of circumstances. The barrow, he'll probably go to about 200. But I have not been breeding for meat. If that makes sense. We bred more for qualities in the Kunis versus for breeding for a meat line. Because the meat line Kunis, they are firm believers in 212, and that's 200 pounds in 12 months. I don't want a fatty pig. And what happens with Kunis is if you feed them extra, they get really fatty. So I'm trying to monitor that by body condition. Oh, good luck, Red. You got this. You got this, Red. You know I got your back. I'd be happy to help you out. Hey, welcome to my Cape Cod life. Thanks for stopping in. But absolutely. I mean, there's so many different things to do. Like, don't look. How many of you get stuck in the planning stage where you want to do something and then you procrastinate? And we talk a lot about this with Mountain Grandma on her live, right? Where we talk about goals and stuff. So I'll give you an example. I'm all about collecting the hobby stuff, right? So when we first moved here, I collected all the canning stuff because it was hard to find. I decided I'm going to collect it all whenever I could find it. So I did. Jars, cases and cases of mason jars, right? Sitting in the closet, sitting everywhere in the house. I'm just going to be real. Lids, bands, everywhere because I got a deal on them and they were available and I bought them. Did I can? No, because we really didn't have anything to can. Then soap making. I collected all the stuff for soap making. Did I make soap? No. Finally, I've made soap. Candle making. I have all the candle making equipment. Took me a year or two to make candles, right? But now I'm doing all this stuff and I have it. The point is don't get intimidated. It's like the sourdough. Excuse me. It's like the sourdough, right? Everybody gets intimidated by sourdough. It is not something to be intimidated by. It is just called following directions, most of the things that we want to do. And like Sarah said, little steps towards those things is progress, right? But also don't get hung up in the final part of not making it. Do it. because that is really important. And so like, I think it was, Blue said, wait a minute. I'm going to show Red's comment just so I can go back up. Yep, I do that, but it's an ADHD thing. It just means I have to find a way to do it anyways. Absolutely. Yes, you did, Jeff and Tammy. Congratulations on becoming grandparents. That's awesome. I've been collecting sheep and still haven't touched the wool. We have the sheep. Get out and do something with the wool. I'm telling you, it's a gold mine. So Dawn says, oh my gosh, sounds like me. I have a closet full of canning jars and tubs full of soap making stuff. I call it stocking up for retirement. Yeah. But you know what? Take a weekend and get the stuff out and do something with it. It's just really cool to do stuff with it. And then Rich had a really, yes, Gwen, I agree. It's hilarious at how much accumulates for those hobbies. Yeah, make sure you have a plan. Obviously, you got to have a plan, right? But your plan doesn't have to define everything, but you have to research the thing you're doing, right? So one of the things that always drives me nuts is when people go to Facebook looking for an answer, instead of doing the research themselves. You can buy a how to take care of chicken books, and you can learn all you need to take care of a chicken, right? Basic care, what things to look for. You don't just buy chickens, bring them home, and then go, okay, what do I do? Because you got to have the feed for them. You got to have this. And the bigger the animal, you better know something about it. We brought Sherman home. I knew what I was getting into with a pig. We had fencing for him. We had a secure area for him. We knew what a piglet needed. We knew what an adult pig needed. We knew the worming schedule, all that stuff. Facebook is a cesspool of know-it-alls that know nothing. No offense, but so please do your research. For another great point is like the butchering book that we have. I'm watching people talk about how to dispatch a pig in a group. You shouldn't be dispatching a pig unless you know how to dispatch them. And so you need to know how to operate a gun. You need to know some other things. And you also need to read a butchering book. And the butchering book is written by a vet. So I trust the guy versus looking online where you can get 50 different answers. And poor Xander is twitching. Trust me, I get it. And it's so true. So just have a plan. Basic care is stuff that, yeah, Blue, I have, sorry, wrong one. I have backed off and I'm solely keeping it for local business. I don't like it. I saw a couple of posts that might have sounded dumb to you, but the girl was genuinely asking because her parents had died. And she was asking a question because her father and mother always handled the stuff. And she was chastised. And there's no reason for that. Just scroll on if you got nothing nice to say. Of course, there is also spur of the moment, but you also have to have some kind of plan to figure out what to do with them. You know what I mean? I think it's more, Gwen, what I'm talking about, the people who jump in on, they jump in and bring all the chicks home and then they have no idea how to take care of them. And then they go to Facebook for answers. Well, you should not be going to Facebook for answers. I'm sorry. Just canned up persimmons, and because of the Facebook group, the persimmons recipe is no longer in the ball book of canning. Weird. The best way to learn is doing it with someone that does it on the reg. Absolutely. Absolutely. My husband has history with stuff. He knows how to do it. It is not something that I should be doing. A lot of the things I've learned from him. Good night, Dawn. Thanks for being here. Yeah, exactly. Drops. They don't know what grit is. I mean, oh, sorry, Rebecca. I didn't mean to miss that. I'm looking. Grew up on a farm in the 70s and 80s. Did I help? Yes. Would I trust myself to do it today? No. Interesting. And I know Blue is talking about you have to have a license for butchering. Yeah, I mean, we got our chickens and then we redid the coop and all of that and had it ready by 4 weeks when they were going out. And my girls sleep in the run. They don't even go in. If they don't want to go in, I don't force them in unless it's going to be frigid cold. Because they like staying out in the run. But the run has got cattle panel, hardware cloth, chicken wire, more chicken wire. But it, like all things, they can get in there if they want to. Butchering. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Rat, it's the same game as him. Yep. Absolutely, you guys. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean they've got to have all that stuff. I mean, mine don't necessarily they get their calcium as their grit. It's mixed in. So, but they get grit in the brooder. Hey Teresa, welcome. But yeah, I mean there's a lot of different things and everybody does stuff differently. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But you've got to have some common sense and you have to be able to do research from a reliable source, not Facebook, right? There's nothing wrong with asking people for help, but consider who you're asking. So, yeah, we have our hardware cloth down that way. It's going to be a great year for all of us. I'm having high hopes. I love that, Heather. It's so true. So true. Yeah, the grit is what helps them digest in their crops in their gizzard or something like that. That's why when you butcher them, they have stones in there. Ours pretty much get it from the ground. And they also get it from their calcium. Yeah, it's just when the snow's on the ground, Rich, they can't get enough of it. So mine is mixed in. We used to use poultry calcium and that was mixed in with grit. So it worked out really good. And then now we've been using the oyster shell. So they've got the rocks and stuff. Yeah, yours free range every day. And my free range, but they free range only in the afternoon. But yeah, I mean, it's sort of like we built that middle grow out coop using pallets, and Ryan just did not want me to do that. And I said, I'm not spending money on it. We're doing this because it's not going to be used all year round. And I'm willing to take a chance on that. And so we did that. But our main coop is completely, I feel pretty good. The reality of it is we had half the chickens killed, and that was when they were free ranging. Because that's the trouble. The free ranging part is when they're going to get killed. Heather at Milk and Honey wants to know if anybody needs watch hours. Let her know. Yeah, anytime they have access to soil, they're getting grit. Yeah, River Rat said, my chickens are out all day, but they have Duke out to protect them. Yep. We grew acres of corn. Stalks were cattle feed. Corn was used for cattle feed and chicken feed. Cornmeal and grits, and most importantly, moonshine. Yes. It's funny. There was a place in North Carolina that they actually called spilled corn, and it was from all the spilled corn from moonshiners. Sarah at a homesteading hustle said she would love it if you would all come check out her playlists. So that would be really good. So what are your plans for 2024? What big things do you have going on? I want to hear from you guys. I'm tired of hearing myself talk. I always get the sniffles and cough when I'm over here because I'm near the wood stove. It's so dry. If you've ever heard the song Rocky Top, it's a real place. Yes, it is. I have, and I know what it is. I need to get the house roofed and painted. Yes. We have some staining to do outside, and we have to have the roof examined because we get hail every year. So we've got to make sure of that. And yes, it probably will cost you more to do that. I do. I have a cast iron. It's not a kettle, but it's a cast iron pot that I have, and I do have it on all the time, but we are just so dry here to begin with. Yeah, no kidding. Vote for a new prez. I agree. River Rat said, I saw you on a Grub Terra commercial. I didn't know you were famous. I'm not famous. Just me. That's funny. Yeah, they keep running that. We're going to be working with them again. For sure. I like working with them. Rebuilding the garden. I had to take apart while making a larger coop and run for the chickens. That'll be good. Manageable gardening and chickens. House repairs still to do from the storm. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yikes. Hey, Ark Wildman. I couldn't remember if I said hello to you or not. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm being sponsored to do a social enterprise business course so I can run the workshops and groups to teach practical life skills and self-sufficiency. That's great, Blue. It means I can be shortlisted for funding, which is awesome. That's awesome, Blue. Congrats. Heather said, hopefully enough saved for a high tunnel this spring, breed goat this next fall, baby cows this late spring being born, maybe chicks. Woohoo! Hail is dangerous. Norman does need a helmet. He is so funny. Norman needs a sweater. SD is cold. Ryan's like, if something happens to me, he says, are all the pigs going to be in the house? And I said, Norman will be. Drops is moving to a new homestead, which is very exciting. Ariella said, keep losing weight, stay smoke-free, and the biggie of moving to the States, but that's an impossible dream. Never impossible, Ariella, never. Never, never. So yeah, so I told him that I would have a huge pig door and fencing put up for Norman is what I told him. Hoping to build, a small greenhouse this year. That's exciting. You guys have a lot of things going on. Excuse me. Yeah, Norman needs oxygen. So true. So true. Norman needs a lot of things. We should do a Norman needs live stream. Finally going to put up cattle panel arches and getting quality growing pots and tray trim. Bootstrap farmer. Nice. I like that. My mom had a picture of me as a newborn in South Dakota in an infant carrier. You can't see the carrier because it was sunk in the snow. Totally. Totally. Yeah, we've got, some big personal changes coming up this year that started this year, and can't talk about it yet, but we're trying to figure things out for ourselves and see what we're going to do. But honestly, at this point, we've decided that we will make things happen, and whatever works, works. Whatever doesn't. Like, I'm not going to lose sleep over certain things anymore. Oh, good. Sorry you had that problem, but you got free boxes. That's cool. Oh, Rise and Swine, if you need help, let me know. You could totally make sourdough. Totally. It's awesome. It was in August. No way, no how, never again. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome. I mean, it's just, even all the stuff that I'm making, if something happens, we'll either have it or I'll give it away or I'll donate it. Like that's where I'm at. It's just not the end of the world. I don't want to stress myself out. I don't want to freak out about things. I do it because I like doing it. I like making it. And that's all there is to it, I love my cattle panel arches between my raised beds. And I have cattle panels and T-posts that I move around from year to year because you don't plant them in the same spot. Yeah. I'd love to have cattle panel arches. I just don't have the need. I don't have the need because we just don't have the space. So we use other stuff, but it'll be fine. One of our big projects we didn't get to this year was cutting down trees. We have to cut down more trees, and I don't know when we're going to get to it because that is a massive, massive undertaking because they are huge pine trees. They all need to be cut. We need to have somebody come haul off the wood. And we also then have a lot of brush we need to dispose of. And burning here is not always easy. So, we're talking about chipping them up and stuff. But it's not like we could use it all on our garden because we don't have that big of an area. And because we won't use it, Alexander, we won't use it. We don't burn pine in the house. When we burned pine in the house, it was the most dangerous thing, and I hated it. So we will have, we'll give it to somebody to take it because I'm not going to stack it here. I would have somebody remove it and take it for their purposes, and they can stack it on their property. I just don't have the room to have like a log truck full of logs laying on my property. Oh, I know, Drops. Trust me, I know. We lived in Connecticut and we had hardwood. The only other thing that I would do is if we got an outdoor furnace, I would burn pine in that, but I won't burn it in the house. But we have somebody that we know who's willing to take. But here it just doesn't last long. You're constantly burning it and it leaves such residue in the stove. It's awful. It's awful. I wish we had more hardwood. We just don't have it. No cattle panel arches, but I have 60 handy panels I use for arches. And cool. Yeah, I won't burn it for that reason. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we had 2 incidents with it, even though we clean the chimney all the time, and I have decided that's why we got the pellet stove. Luckily, we buy the pellets in bulk. There's 4 of us that go in on it, and we remove it with a We have a truck that we bring over and stuff, so it works out really good. Do what works for you. That's what I say. I won't do it because we had 2 episodes of the house smoking out when we first moved here because everybody said, "Oh, we burn it," and I'm like, Oh, honey locust. Okay. Yeah, ours are mostly ponderosa pine. All it felt like that's all we did was feed the stove constantly because you had to burn it hot and then you had to keep it. It was like burning kindling. So it just didn't work, especially when we get so cold. So that worked out anyway. Not trying to start a controversy on that. But if we did have an outdoor furnace, that would be different. I would load that puppy up. Totally. So any last thoughts on your 2023 or what you're going to do for 2024? I'm just curious. I use old Christmas trees and pine in a barrel stove in the shop that my folks had on the farm. Nice. We have a wood burning stove as a backup. It's in the garage. And obviously, if needed, if SHTF, we have a wood stove. But we leave it out there and we do burn in it scrap wood when we're working on a project out there and we need it hot in the garage. And that works out good because it's on while we're in there and then we let it go out. So that works. That works well. Yep. And last year we had somebody who wanted to mill it. And so that's what we're looking for, to see if we can get somebody to buy it to mill it. So Heather's going to do more collabs. Teresa wishes she would love a wood burning stove. I hope it doesn't turn into SHTF in 2024. No kidding. Yep. Yeah, the outside furnaces will heat your water as well as your house, which is nice, which is what I love about it. Garden, that's about it for me. Gardening, we'll see what happens with the collabs. Cool. I'm focusing this year on leftovers and zero waste cooking. Next year, also doing a job a day for the year to fill the pantry. That's great. That's one of the things that we have significantly reduced is our food waste. I've been working on that for years, and I think we've really made great strides this year. Have heard from various places that the powers in charge may cause something to happen. We hear that a lot. At some point, it's going to come. I can tell you, and I don't know, Spartman, if you've noticed it, we went to Walmart in Rapid City today because if we're going to Rapid City, we're going to do grocery shopping. Even if we really don't need a lot, we're still going to do it because we're there. The shelves were empty. And a lot of that had to do with the interstate being closed because of the snow on Christmas Day. Like, no dairy. There wasn't a lot of dairy stuff at all. And that's because every time our interstate closes down for a day or so, that really interferes with supplies. So no worries, Rebecca. No worries at all, Suburban Hillbilly. Have a great night, Lisa, and I'm going to hit you up to make some bread next year. Have a happy new year. Happy New Year. And definitely hit me up. I'm happy to help you, Red. Yes, I've noticed that our Walmart has roaming empty shelves. Yep. Make sure you have 1 to 2 years worth of food. Massively empty shelves this year in the UK before Christmas. It was like lockdown again. Yeah, we do need to learn as much as we can and do as much as we can. Support a farmer, okay? Even if you're not farming, put some money away. Buy some local meat. I'm telling you, buy some local meat. We bought pork because we have Norman. We bought pork from Maud Hagen Cattle to supplement us until we can get through. We bought a half hog, and it's nothing like you've ever tasted. Nothing. They've been feeding us garbage for years. Gary went and closed up the beehive. A ton of bees in there. Nice. Nice. All right, guys. Well, we are going to have a low-key weekend here. We're going to get some stuff done. And all that stuff. And then I'll be back on YouTube next week. I'm probably going to take the weekend off, except to share out the information for Rich and Holly's seed swap. So check that out. Let me just go comments real quick. Stuff like what's going on now that makes me want to buy some land and set up shop. It's too late here, but it may not be too late by you, Spartman. So look it up. Oh, that's really cheap. Blue. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Love to you all. Heather at Milk and Honey will be on Gail's channel on New Year's. I was going to be there, but I'm not going to be around to be able to be on it. So I'm sorry, but go check it out and have a happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you next week. Love to you guys. And by the way, did you see Diesel didn't bark tonight? Hot dang. Buy yourself a freeze dryer. Drops. Now's the time because you'll probably have a 6-month wait on it. Love to you guys. Happy New Year. See you next week. Take care.